Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've been sinking my teeth into Anno 117 at Pax Romana and I want to talk about my first impressions, and I've got to say, I'm already obsessed. This isn't going to be some super technical review or big breakdown of every system, it's more like me hanging out with you all and sharing my honest first impressions after being a few hours in. We're going to talk about what it's like starting out, what I've been loving, and a few things that still confuse me, and whether I think it's worth picking up if you're still on the fence. Alright, let's get to it. First of all, the vibe of this game is unreal. Anno 117 drops us right into the Roman Empire during the whole Pax Romana era, you know, the peace and prosperity period. And wow, Ubisoft really nailed this look and feel of this. The architecture, the music, even the way people move around the streets, it's so atmospheric. You can almost smell the bread baking and hear merchants shouting in the marketplace. I love that it's not just about building cities, it's about starting small with villages and local markets and fisheries, which is a nice change from games like City Skylines or SimCity. So when you start, you can pick between two characters, Marcia and Marcus. I went with Marcia right away, and I felt like her vibe gave you that classic Anno humble beginnings feeling. A tiny settlement, a handful of buildings, and a bunch of people counting on you to not screw it up. I can't comment on Marcus's intro and storyline just yet, but I will definitely be getting into that as soon as I finished Marcia's story. With Marcia, you start by laying out houses, chopping wood, getting your first supply chains going, and before you know it, hours have gone by. Everything just flows so smoothly. The tutorials actually explain things really well, and early progression is really quite rewarding. You unlock new buildings at just the right pace, and it constantly gives you that one more building itch. I love how chilled it feels, it's strategic but never stressful, it's the perfect kind of cozy management game. Let's talk about the economy, because that's what makes Anno, well, Anno. Even early on, you've got this simple but super satisfying loop. Gather raw materials, turn them into products, and make your citizens happy. You start with wood and clay and move on to stuff like pottery and olive oil, the essentials of any respectable Roman lifestyle, right? I'm sure the wine is yet to come. It's not too complex in the beginning, but it's deep enough to make you think. Like you'll notice when one resource starts backing up or another runs dry, suddenly you're tweaking layouts and optimizing production lines. There's this weirdly relaxing joy in getting everything running just right. It scratches that OCD organization brain that I absolutely have. Honestly, I think the thing that's really hooked me most is just how beautiful it all is. When the sun hits your city at sunset, gorgeous. The sound of the waves, the people chatting, birds flying overhead, it's just so immersive. You can literally sit there watching your citizens go about their day, farmers, traders, builders, and it just feels alive. There's a rhythm to it. You'll see smoke drifting up from workshops, carts rolling down the streets, and little boats heading out to sea. Every part of it feels handcrafted, like someone's really cared about the world being believable. I've caught myself just panning around my city, doing nothing productive for like 10 minutes just to soak in the views. I do believe that this is part of the game's intention. It's not trying to stress you out or make you rush. It's letting you breathe and letting you build at your own pace, and I just love that. It's a kind of atmosphere that makes you want to slow down. You start to care about the little details, like how your city looks, from how the harbour is, to how your roads line up, and that is rare. Most city builders are about efficiency. Here, it feels like it's about expression. So yeah, so far, it's not just gameplay here, it's the entire vibe. Okay, so it's not all perfect. I've had a couple of moments where I genuinely got confused, like I thought I had enough storage and suddenly my warehouses were full for no apparent reason. Sometimes you're left wondering, wait, where's all my timber going, or why are my goods not reaching that part of town? It's nothing game breaking, but yeah, a few of those user interface elements could definitely be a little clearer. I feel like the game expects you to just know certain mechanics without explaining them properly, but once you figure it out, it clicks. Those first few hours can have you scratching your head a little bit, but once you've got past that, it'll all make sense. Performance-wise though, totally solid. I'm playing on PS5 and it's been smooth so far. No major frame drops or stutters, and the load times are quick. You can tell they've optimized it really well, which is nice for a game that looks this good. I've played for about 4 or so hours on the campaign, and honestly, it's been pretty chill. I'm hoping the difficulty ramps up a bit as the story progresses. I'm sure when the battles begin, the chaos too will unfold. One thing I do want to mention is about the cutscene and loading screen artwork. Personally, I feel like I have quite a sharp eye when it comes to anything creative related, and some of these visuals seem sloppy. Like it feels definitely AI generated in some areas, where the background character has an extra thumb, or their general expression is just off. And while this isn't necessarily game-changing in terms of my enjoyment of the game so far, I just feel like the very fine details like this could have had a better comb through before the release, but hey, this is all just my opinion. Maybe I should round off this section with my main disappointment so far. I'm yet to see Ezio. I'm kidding, of course. I know it will never be the case, but having an Easter egg related to such an iconic character and the game in Assassin's Creed would just be amazing. This makes the perfect segue into the music as well. I definitely hear Assassin's Creed inspiration in the themes I've heard so far. It takes me back to the originals, but in the same way, it adds its own feel to enjoy the present moment in the game we're currently playing. So the big question, should you get this game if you're still on the fence? If you're into city builders, then absolutely. This is one of those rare games that understands what makes the genre so special. The satisfaction of watching a settlement grow from humble beginnings into something truly grand is extremely fulfilling. It's got all the systems, complexity, and little optimization puzzles that fans crave, but wrapped in a presentation that feels smoother and more modern than ever. If you're brand new to the series, this is probably the best entry point yet. It's incredibly welcoming, with tutorials and pacing that ease you in without ever making you feel inferior to being a newbie. You can take your time learning the ropes, experimenting with layouts, and appreciating the ebb and flow of the economy. There's real depth here, and it never feels overwhelming. For returning Anno veterans, you'll probably notice that Pax Romana isn't quite as hardcore or unforgiving as some of the earlier entries. The micromanagement has softened just a touch, and the systems are a little more streamlined, but that doesn't mean it's shallower, it's just more refined. What it may lack in raw challenge, it more than makes up for in quality, visual fidelity, and overall atmosphere. And if you're someone who just wants a game to unwind with, something strategic but not stressful, something you can sink into after a long day, Anno 117 is perfect for that too. It's the kind of game that invites you to slow down, sip a drink, put on some music, and lose track of time as your Roman city comes to life before your very eyes. It's not just a city builder, it's a mood. Calm, thoughtful, and quietly addictive. Thank you everyone so much for watching this video. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments and how you're getting on with this game so far. What are you enjoying most, and is there anything that you're struggling with? I'd love to chat. Be sure to subscribe as well. You can guarantee more Anno 117 content coming up from me as soon as those challenges start to get tougher. I'll be your go-to spot for guides and tips, and of course a spot of banter. Finally, make sure to give this video a like if you did enjoy watching, and I will catch you all in my next video.